What's up, guys, and welcome to the Foot and Fist Sports Network, where today we're going to be talking about the big news that UFC just released, that Conor McGregor has been pulled off of UFC 200. Now, Dana White was on SportsCenter, and he gave an official reasoning behind why Conor had been pulled off, where basically McGregor refused to show up to the UFC 200 press conference and filming of the commercial for UFC 200. It's going to cost around 7 figures. Basically, in the contract, when you sign a fight, you have no choice but to attend the press conferences and basically do what the UFC wants when it comes to promotion. And since Conor refused to do that, the UFC pulled him off. Now, to me, there's just something very fishy about that, because Conor McGregor is the biggest superstar, and they're taking him off of the biggest fight card they've ever promoted. So shouldn't they put up a bigger fight and basically do whatever they possibly can to keep him on the card? I think that there's something that Dana White wasn't telling us in that interview, and it's probably involving fighter pay and the fact that Conor McGregor witnessed his, an opponent of his teammate die in a fight that he was actually cornering. I think probably Conor McGregor saw that and he was like, I want more money than what I'm actually making, because I'm risking my life. I really am. Anything can happen. I can lose my life. And sources have been claiming that he asked for $10 million and the UFC rejected it. And basically Conor said, on what he tweeted on the internet, on Twitter, where he said, I'm retiring young. Thanks for the cheese. I'll see you later. Whether it's an actual retirement or not, I don't really know. Remains to be seen. It could and probably is just a ploy for him to force the UFC's hand to give him the money he wants, or they're going to lose their biggest superstar by a long shot. One of the very few superstars in UFC history, probably like 3 or 4 of them actually have done this. One of the few guys that's actually been able to transcend the MMA market and become something much bigger, become an actual superstar in the world, and in sports and just in culture in general. So they're going to be losing a big figure if they don't give him the money he wants. Now Nate Diaz is still scheduled to be fighting at UFC 200, and they're going to be talking to him in the coming days about who they'll give him. I expect them to probably try to give him Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler is expected to be fighting Tyron Woodley for the title, but there's no doubt that Nate Diaz is a much bigger draw than Tyron Woodley. So knowing how the UFC is 100% money-minded, I wouldn't be surprised in any way if they gave him Nate Diaz. And it probably would be a more entertaining fight anyway. Whereas Conor McGregor, like I said, it's difficult to know at this moment if this is an actual retirement. But, according to Ariel Helwani, sources very close to Conor McGregor and among the UFC are very adamant that this is a legit retirement, not just some kind of ploy that he's doing to make extra money or anything like that. He's actually adamant. He's actually really, really, really shook up by the death of the Portuguese fighter. And maybe that's really pushed him to the edge and not want to do this anymore. Conor's always talked about how he's going to get in the game, get rich, and get the fuck out. And that's probably what he's doing. I would be surprised that he's retiring, but I also wouldn't be surprised. It's weird, just based on what he's talked about over his career. I'm sure he has a lot that he would like to do in the game, but at the same time, there's a lot he can do in life, and maybe he's seen the risks, up close and personal, and maybe he's trying to preserve his life over his career. Alright guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and please give me a hand. Let me know in the comments section who you think Nate Diaz should fight at UFC 200, and let me know especially if you think this is a legit retirement by Conor or if it's just some kind of game. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Big things are coming for the channel, so stay tuned. Stick around to see how things progress. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.